All right, so the whole equality debate has been really annoying to me because people are trying to make things that are not equal, and they will use historical examples and claim, oh, what about equality here and equality this? Equality historically, like equal rights for blacks and for women, equality only ever meant equality under the law, equal treatment from the law. It did not mean social equality or anything else. It only meant we want to be treated equally under the law, which we can do because the law is a social construct. It's completely made up. So the law can be racially and uh, genderlessly blind, right? So equality is not the same. Just because something's the same doesn't mean it's equal. Just because it has similarities doesn't mean it's equal. Just because you claim something is equal doesn't mean it's equal. Okay? So again, equality only ever meant equal legal treatment. Susan B. Anthony and all the early feminists, they only said, hey, we just want equal property rights. We want equal voting rights. They did not argue for women to be prostitutes or to sleep around or to have OnlyFans. These women were still feminine. They still thought women of as wives, housewives, mothers, all these things, right? They didn't see them as oppressive, right? It was not, we want to be socially equal to men. We want to be legally equal to men, right? Which again, we can do because laws are made up. They are a social construct. But physical reality is not a social construct, and men and women will never be physically equal. The day we are physically equal is the day that those two categories become one. If you are physically equal, you are the same thing. Okay? And men and women are not socially equal, and we never will be either because we're not physically equal. Right? You can say social customs are they're a social construct, right? Society is just a social construct. And you might be able to argue that to every single point except when it comes to reproduction, which is a physical and a social quality, because we're social creatures, and in order to reproduce, the women have to have the kids. Men cannot have kids, right? Women can slash usually breastfeed them, um, and men cannot, okay? So that is one physical and social construct or reality that will never be equal. And that right there is what determines the rest of our uh, social, societies. So again, men and women can be legally equal, but we still aren't because women have legal privileges over men. That is for a different video. So double standards require exact sameness. Um, because people like again, you can claim something's a double standard, but the thing has to be the exact same. So again, men and women are not the exact same in any capacity, so it's not a double standard to treat them differently in social, physical ways. Legally, it can be legally it can be a double standard, right? Because as we've established, the law can be blind to gender and sex. So that that can be a double standard. But when you say, oh, for example, uh, why can men sleep around and they're thought of as, conquerors, or it's a good thing, but when women sleep around, it's a bad thing. That's a double standard. No, it's actually not a double standard because men and women are socially different. It's much easier for a woman to go out and sleep with a lot of men than it is for a man to go out and sleep with a lot of women, right? That's just reality. So it's not a double standard. People can say claim double standards all the time, but they're not, right? So an example is Special Olympics. People with special needs, are they not human? Are they not the exact same? Are they not the same? They're human. So how are they? What's the difference? Why do they get to have their own thing? Well, because dipshit, they're different. They are different, just like men and women are different. We have different. We treat people differently because they're different. It's really not that hard. Here's like some deductive arguments just to prove the point even further. So premise one: different things are treated differently because of their differences. Premise two: men and women are different. Conclusion: men and women are treated differently because of their differences. It's not a double standard that we're treating men and women differently. We're treating them differently because they're different. So the next one is one: a double standard arises when two things that are the exact same are treated differently. Men and women are different, aka they're not the exact same. Therefore, treating men and women differently based on being a man or a woman isn't a double standard. And I add some asterisks because I made this PowerPoint in like 5 minutes. I know there's more nuances to that conclusion, but I'm making a point, and if you're above the second grade, you understand the point I'm trying to make. So don't try to be like a smart ass and say, what about? Because I get it. I don't have to need to go into every single specific. But to conclude, um, equality only meant equality under the law. And sure, things can evolve, but men and women are still different, and we're still always going to be different. And treating them differently doesn't necessarily mean a double standard is at play and hypocrisy is at play. Okay? All right.